everyone. My name is Abby Benjamin, and we are here in Boulder, Colorado with Angela LaRue, also known as Angie. And today we're going to be discussing 7 techniques for raising your frequency and maintaining a high vibration no matter what circumstance you're in. So the techniques we're going to be discussing today are stopping the thought cascade, controlled breathing, grounding yourself, the thymus thump, emotional freedom technique, belly breathing, and eagle-eyed view. So Angie, can you tell us why is it important for us to use these techniques to maintain a high frequency even if we're in stressful situations?
Absolutely. So the reason that we really want to do this is we become a casualty of this situation if we can't stay in control of ourselves. So we really want to be the eye of the hurricane as everything swirls around us and people are having reactions and emotions. We don't want to be in a place of reaction. We want to be the eye of the hurricane. From that place, we can potentially help whatever the situation is to calm down.
Definitely, and I think there's a lot of people out there that might not realize that we actually have full control over our reactions no matter what the situation is. So let's jump in and talk about these techniques. Can you tell us a little bit about stopping the thought cascade?
Right, absolutely. Stopping the thought cascade really keeps us out of reaction, because if somebody's going off in front of us and we are thinking, we're having a reaction. And as soon as we go into reactions, we are in a very emotional place and we are now part of the situation, the drama, a casualty of whatever it is that's happening. So we're going to do some other techniques to help stop the cascade. At this point, fight, flight, freeze is starting to set in and we want to stop that from happening. So what we're going to do to stop the thought cascade is we're going to use controlled breathing. And this is a 6-count inhalation, 5-count exhalation. So just breathing in. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to ground ourselves. A lot of energy is coming at us. A lot of people are in reaction. So we want to remove that energy out of us. So in order to do that, you can visualize a light blue, sky blue, calming energy coming in, showering in your head, through your body. And as it comes through on the exhale, you can exhale it out, any stress and fatigue that you've already picked up, into the earth, right? So breathing in and exhaling everything that's not helping this situation into the earth. Do that about 3 times, same thing, a nice controlled breath, some seconds in and some seconds back out again.
So for those of us who might not be familiar with energy work or have experience with it, can you tell us a little bit about kind of exactly how we're grounding this energy? We see this blue light coming in, but what energy are we trying to expel from the body? And when we do that, are we using visualization? Are we using intention? Can you just kind of break that down a little bit more for us?
Absolutely, yeah. It's the charge, right? When we come into a situation of drama and upset people or a car wreck or whatever the situation is, all the children, the dog, and the spouse are all screaming and crying, there's a charge already there. It's there. And we need to get rid of that charge or we're going to become one of the people that's charged by the scene. So think a lightning rod on a house. There's this huge charge, static electrical charge coming down. It's going to blow things apart if we can't dissipate that charge. So we're going to dissipate the charge in the ground. So as you're bringing in that nice light blue light, you're dissipating as you're releasing whatever, potential reactions are in that. You're dissipating the charge into the ground instead of becoming a casualty.
Yeah, makes sense. So I know that there's some physical things that we can do, different kinds of touching of the body. So let's start by talking about the thymus thump. Can you explain what that is and how we can use it?
Absolutely. So the first thing we don't want is our body to start producing chemicals leading clear up to adrenaline. We definitely want to keep that out of our personal situation. And so the thymus thump is a really great way to calm and center the nervous system so it doesn't get involved. So we're basically telling the body we're not running from a saber-toothed tiger or a cave bear, right? So just a nice slow thump, like a heartbeat, about 2 fingers below the collarbones, right here. This just lets the body know everything's safe, everything's calm. Brain doesn't need to dump a bunch of chemicals and add to the confusion that's already happening.
Yeah, and this is related to the next one, which is emotional freedom technique, which is a self-administered healing technique that's based on modern psychology as well as acupuncture's principles of energy systems and meridians. And so by tapping on different points on the face or the body, we can change stress responses to relaxation responses in just a couple of minutes. So can you show us a couple of EFT or emotional freedom techniques?
Absolutely. So the first one is we're tapping on the cheekbone just under the eyes, right in line with the pupils. And as you do this, you might even want to say to yourself, I'm calm, I'm in control, the situation is not going to knock me off my center. The next one is a lot like the thymus thump, but right underneath the collarbones. Do it here. And you can choose whatever cadence you want to do. Okay. If you are in a social situation, CEO, board members, whatever, you can augment these to the pulse points on the wrist. Not quite as effective, but it is effective. Okay. And the last one is under the arm. And you just cup under your arm. And this is really great. It just has a feeling of like when you were a baby and grandma was, patting your back to calm you down because you were upset. It's actually tremendously comforting. Yeah, it's very comforting. And you self-talk. I'm in control. I got this. I'm okay.
Awesome. So we have another breathing technique, belly breathing. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. And for belly breathing, we are going to breathe. Panic and tension and stress causes us to breathe very shallowly up here from the chest, and we just want to make sure our body isn't trying to do that, right? So what we want to do is we actually want to inhale deep into the belly, and then fill the chest. So deep into the belly first. And if you're not used to breathing like this, you might want to practice this for a while because you want to have this technique available. And you can combine all these together, right? So we can do this to a 6 count while channeling in that sky blue energy. And on the exhale, exhaling all the stress.
And how long would you say it's required to do these to get back into a calm state?
Do this until you feel calm, right? You just don't want your brain running away. You don't want it to be a train of reaction adding to the stress. So when you feel calm, you're ready for the last technique, which is the eagle eye view. And for the eagle eye view, you are not involved. You have yourself calm and centered. You're not involved. And you can actually look at the reality of the situation and what's happening. Is this person experiencing agitation from low blood sugar? Are they having a medical condition? Where's the heart of the actual problem? We have people expressing and in a state of reaction, but what was the initial cause? Because we're not probably going to be able to deal with their reactions. That will pull us into we want to actually look for solutions. We want a solution. So from that eagle eye view, we can actually get a feel for what happened and what is the thing we should address first, much like arriving on the scene of a multi-car accident. We need to get ourselves safe first. Then we can begin to respond of where's the key points in the car accident that are most important to respond to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that eagle-eyed view technique also speaks to the idea of neutrality and how everything that happens to us is completely neutral. So we can also think of this as a prism. So we all have a prism inside of us, and our prism is based up of our experiences, our traumas, our morals, our thoughts and beliefs about things. And when something happens to us, it hits our individual prism, and the way that it kind of ricochets or the light moves off of the prism inside of us determines our reaction to that. So once we have awareness of this prism and of the fact that what's happening to us is completely neutral, we can begin to really have control over our response and have sovereignty over our situation. So those are 7 techniques for maintaining a high vibration in any circumstance you might find yourself in. Angie, do you have any final words for our viewers on any of these techniques?
I do. You got this. Go forth in joy and love.